For this week's social studies activities, we're going to be looking at our packet that's dated May 18th through May 22nd. Make sure you have the right packet. Go ahead and open it up and go to our first passage that we're going to read. The first passage is called Texas History, Lesson 2.1, Spanish Exploration Begins. Before we start reading this passage, I want you to have something that you can highlight with or underline with, a pen or a pencil, something. When I underline and highlight certain words or sentences, I want you to also underline the same thing I'm underlining, because this is going to be your answers for the questions that follow. So make sure you also underline things that I am underlining. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This is Texas History Lesson 2.1, Spanish Exploration Begins. In the year 711, people from Africa, who were called Moors, invaded and conquered the Christians living in Spain. The Moors turned Spain into an Islamic land, but the Christians in Spain fought back to regain their country. Many of them fought for what they believed was their religious duty, and felt that God wanted them to defeat the Moors. Their reconquest of Spain, known as the Reconquista, took nearly 800 years. In 1492, the Spanish Christians finally defeated the Moors and began looking for new lands to conquer. In that same year, a sailor named Christopher Columbus set out from Spain. I want you to go ahead and underline this. A sailor named Christopher Columbus set out from Spain. His goal was to find a shortcut to Asia. Well, let's go ahead and underline this. His goal was to find a shortcut to Asia by heading west across the Atlantic Ocean. Instead of finding the shortcut, Columbus landed on an island in the Caribbean Sea. He discovered a land that Europeans didn't know about, North and South America. Okay, so we need to underline these. Columbus' discovery excited the Spanish. I want you to underline this. It excited the Spanish, who sent more explorers to the Americas. These explorers were called conquistadores, or conquerors. They were motivated by three things: gold, God, and glory. An old Spanish legend helped increase their hopes of success. According to the legend, somewhere in the New World, there existed 7 cities of gold and silver known as Cibola. One of these Spanish explorers was a man named Hernan Cortés. Okay, so we're going to underline this. One of these Spanish explorers was a man named Hernan Cortés. In 1519, Cortés landed on the coast of present-day Mexico. In 1519, Cortés landed on the coast of present-day Mexico and conquered a group of natives living there called the Aztecs. After defeating the Aztecs, Cortés built Mexico City on the ruins of the destroyed Aztec capital. The Spanish would use this new city as their capital in the New World. Okay, so this is the end of the passage, and you should have underlined everything that you see here, because we are going to use them to answer the questions. Let me go ahead and erase these. Sorry, boys and girls, I forgot. I have to erase before I can move on. And I know sometimes my lines are not straight. It's really difficult to write or draw with a mouse. So just bear with me. All right, so our questions are, for number 1, I want you to go ahead and put an X on number 1. You're not going to do number 1. Number 2, what was Christopher Columbus's goal? And what did he actually discover? Remember, you're going to be able to answer these easily if you had underlined the stuff that I told you to underline. Number 3, how did Spain react to his discovery? What were the 3 G's that motivated the Spanish explorers? And number 5, who was Hernan Cortés and what did he do in 1519? Okay, so use the underlined information to answer these 4 questions here. Remember number 1, put an X through it. You don't need to do that one. Okay, so finish this page.